So this is now going. So now we're going to basically. So this is the end of this part, and yeah. So profile. Yeah, we still don't have anything for ourselves.
Operator
Perlica. Yeah, Perlica has nothing. Yeah, Perlica has nothing. Shin has nothing new. Arclight has nothing new. Yeah. Now, between here and the last session, I did get 2 new characters. Our first one is Ardelia.
Stay sunny for this day as well, Professor. Originium.
He's an arch character. Battle skill. Basic attack up to 4 damage, deals nature damage. Hops on Mr. Dolly and rams the target to deal nature damage. If target has corrosion, consume it to apply physical and art susceptibilities. Interesting. Combo. When a controlled operator performs a final strike on an enemy with no stacks of vulnerability or arts affliction, launches the homing volcanic cloud at a target enemy that deals nature damage when close enough to the target. The volcanic cloud explodes after a short delay, dealing half of the nature damage and forcibly applying temporary corrosion to nearby enemies. And their ultimate, Ardelia enters a mobile channeling state and summons the aid of Mr. Dolly. Multiple copies of Mr. Dolly are thrown in random directions. Each copy deals nature damage. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so she also is from Rhodes Island. Oh, Christ. She's the Capriane. I'm pretty sure I did that. Basically, goats. As you can tell, if you couldn't tell by her horns. Geological surveyor. Drop a plumb bomb that points straight to the heart of the slain. Mountain hiker. Though aching and dazed, she labors hard to register the summit of the rocky outcrop. Hobby 1. Pastry chef. She's mixing some butter and chocolate to make an extra large lava cake. Patience, people. Everyone's getting a slice. Ecological affinity. The splattering of rain upon the land is the language by which the world renews itself. Everything gets a new look when tomorrow dawns. She's negative. She's negative with oripathy, and her physical examination: normal, standard, normal, and outstanding. Ardelia is an expert geologist from Rhodes Island. She specializes in volcanic hazards and has made significant contributions to Talos 2's geological research. Now employed by Enfield, she spends much of her time conducting site investigation. I also should go on record. I don't think that Rhodes Island is the same as in the main games, because some of the Rhodes Island ones are going by code names. Ardelia is hold on, I sent this to a friend. Because they were actually asking out of curiosity. Okay. Yeah, Ardelia does not have a tie to the main game, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not fully sure. Someone knows, let me know. Anyway, Ardelia is one of those rare minds at the forefront of scientific discovery. What sets her apart isn't just her expertise, but her perseverance, fearless spirit, and above all, her genuine love for science and questionable curiosity. Without dedicated researchers like her, we might never truly understand the world we live in. You'll often find her venturing out alone, collecting samples, studying geological structures, and transforming observations into theories. Thanks to her efforts, Enfield has gained a much deeper understanding of Talos 2's geology and the threats posed by the Blight. Her research has laid the groundwork for emergency plans in the case of Blight outbreaks. I have great respect for Ardelia. For her humility, grace, and unwavering sense of purpose, it's as if she carries an endless well of strength, always certain of the path she must follow. A grace the long one. Mr. Dolly's gained one. Shortly after joining Enfield, Ardelia visited a blight-ravaged sector of Talos 2. The geological disaster had shredded a once peaceful settlement, leaving fissures that pulsed with residual energy. Survivors bore wounds beyond the physical, their eyes hollow with the kind of trauma only disaster refugees know. Ardelia stayed at the shelter for a while. The wounded crowded steel cot, limbs lost, eyes vacant, voices severed by trauma. White curtains divided their suffering as medical monitors pulsed like weary hearts. Ardelia worked tirelessly, organizing supplies, changing bandages, murmuring, "I understand your sorrow" to the wounded, until a voice, serrated with grief, cut through, "You don't understand." It was a small girl, young girl, small but fierce. She forced the words through gritted teeth. "You stand straight. Your footsteps don't falter. No disaster has carved its marks into you." The girl turned away, her voice fraying at the edges. "Stop. Just stop pretending. Maybe you've been sick, but healed. That's luck we'll never taste. Our stories end in the same sentence: lifelong pain. So when you say you understand, that pity's cheap coin, embarrassed." Ardelia stood there in her research coat, ponytail precise, step steady, and eyes bright. The Originium had scoured the Reconfederators' illness away, attuning her to wind whispers and microscopic fractures in stone. Yet hold on. There it is. It's the squeegee controller from showed off during Uma Chapter 5. Yet here, before those still drowning in pain, her engineered perfection rendered her mute. When darkness fell upon the land, Mr. Dolly appeared. It trotted between beds and corridors, leaving chaos in its wake. Toppling medicine cabinets, upending tea trays, kicking a freshly filled hot water bottle beneath pillows. Nurses cursed the sun swelter. Children shrieked about something furry burrowing under their blankets. Ardelia chased Mr. Dolly into an old break room where she tugged at a canvas sheet to reveal a dust-choked piano. It stomped the keys, a distorted chime jolted Ardelia into clarity. Ardelia approached, brushing away the dust. The yellow keys stared back, a few bass notes, dissonant but functional. She sat, fingertips tracing a tentative sequence of Leviathan arpeggios into the stale air. First piece, second, and then the third began. Soft footsteps whispered from the hallway steps. Mr. Dolly lay curled nearby, a silent cushion of warmth. The children nestled against its fur, their young breaths syncing with Ardelia's piano as the notes wove through the stale air. The young girl came in as well, perching quietly in the farthest corner. "It still hurts," she murmured. "When you play, your world becomes something worth enduring. The second character I acquired, I have these typed out, is
Contemplation,
Zahi.
computation, utterance, abandonment.
Her faction is Cabal of Tranquility, and she's a sarcasm. That is a these are similar to demons. And yeah, some of the noticing some of the a lot of these basically you can be kind of similar. One of the more famous examples of these is the character Wafren, who we have seen mentioned before. Linguist. The focus of her research includes records of the mysterious precursors to abstract and esoteric algorithmic scripts. Expertise 2, Information Technology. Gilded discourse with all manners of smart, non-smart devices and machines, ranging from access security interfaces to toasters. Technology, signal analysis and proceeding. The world's composition and how it works, signal inputs and outputs, and anything else named as a form of technology are the very fields of her pursuit. Mindhoning, online gamer. A renowned master of algorithmic checkers born aboard John. A mind kept cool in a low temperature environment is essential to master this mathematical board game. She is oropathy positive. Physical examination, normal, standard, and excellent. Seraphine Zahi is a member of the Cabal of Tranquility. Since Enfield Industries and the Cabal of Tranquility are jointly carrying out Originium information and technology research projects, Abbas Vronta recommended Zahi to work at Enfield premises. Zahi is currently building the Jong Protorig network and performing various data engineering tasks such as systems integration. Zahi seems to be extremely interested in my mechanical construction and sentience model. During our conversation, she repeatedly inquired how my linguistics converter transformed sentence logic signals into digital code, interperpetual as audio wave outputs by my voice generator. In every occasion, I replied to request her to focus on the ongoing HR interview. Zahi appeared rather disappointed and expressed her desire to install a duplicate set of my components into her physical body. For reasons being, this will prevent me from suddenly voicing bursts of esoteric verbiage and thus avoid incidents of misunderstanding and disturbance. I pointed out Zahi's human organ, namely her cerebrum, is far more capable of generating expressions more complex and effective than machine-generated language. Ms. Zahi, out of personal etiquette, gave me a smile in response. Besides this minor incident, the general profile of Zahi matches an individual capable of living together with mechanical constructs. This matches her knowledge and background with Cabal of Tranquility. Her introverted nature, however, differed from other Cabalists whom we communicated with. The Cabal, after all, is an organization known throughout the world for their openness as well as eagerness to link up with others. Visiting operator Zahi during non-working hours is a process so convoluted that people regarded it as a form of filter. However, Zahi herself does not see it that way. The process begins at one's arrival to Zhang via the TB port next to the central frame. You, the visitor, shall then walk through the lengthy corridors of the living quarters while winning the crowd. Make the turn onto the narrow lane Then stop at the unassuming cabin on the right at the very end. To me. The smooth door is almost the same level with the walls and seems unwilling to accept entry. You might hesitate and think about rumors of the non-existent Ghost of Zhang as you follow the illustrated instructions and depress the third wall panel next to the door. This is the only action that will reveal the dial hidden. Your wait is not long because the actions of visitation have been permitted by the lady of the alcove. She may exhibit a touch of shyness when she opens the door for you. Revelations of the law have predicted your arrival, she said as she folded her hands before her skirt and bowed less slightly. I shall seek the object of your desire. Let me get some water before I keep reading. The door slowly closes before you, denying you visuals of every action potentially taking place within that little alcove. The very same location that many operators have esoterically described as one of the egresses of the assimilated universe. The noise and clamor of the Zhang is only a few dozen yards away. You suddenly notice the peculiar tranquility within the narrow corridor. Across immeasurable stretches of time, you, the visitor, is prevented from communicating to the flow of verbal exchange. Instead, the collision of stars echo within your ears as teachings and gospels of eons flood your mind. All point towards the nebulous path that yearns to make itself known. The door then opens. The gentle Sarkaz girl named Seraphine Sahi shows herself again. She gives unto you a specialized operational asset that you have applied via the Enfield Office Administration System, a brand new handheld terminal. You, the visitor, offer your thanks as you take a quick glance at the alcove interiors. You see a seat showered in the eerie blue of dozen monitors. There is also a narrow bed for one, blankets neatly folded and moored at its end. And this is all that is contained within one of the egresses of the assimilated universe. We did get a few more pictures, by the way, because we were able to max out the potentials for fluorite, and we are going to be cool. Focus on snapshots. You hardly bears grudges. Enemies don't last that long. Justice is always served. However, if Justice decides to show up late, then we're in for quite a show. We also got all the pictures for Akikuri. Well, at least the second picture for Akikuri. Lead by example and shine onto others. Then shine some more and bright that light to places ever distant. I will be going over characters' pictures as well for these segments. So yeah, if I get more pictures, we'll see them after we go through characters and other stuff. But yeah, that is going to be it for the stream. For the stream. I'm not really going to be basically doing the cutoff thing for when we're doing this if we have characters to actually go over. So yeah.